Hey everyone, welcome back to Art Every Day. It's day 66. So if you're new here, this is basically just a place where I've been trying to practice art a little bit every day. It's full of ums and ahs, and I'm not really trying to get everything perfect or do everything just right. Just have enough fun, and share the journey, I guess. So I have to figure out what I want to do today still. I might keep. I'm debating if I'll keep doing my study for Studio Ghibli style work, or if I want to practice something else for a little bit today. And the reason I'd want to practice something else is basically I don't want to get too tired or too burnt out. I want to draw something new and draw fun things, draw what I want to draw, you know. So maybe I will just draw for the sake of drawing. I've said before, and I still think I need to improve people. There's something that I struggle to draw with. So maybe more practice drawing people or faces could be good today. But that's not really what I'm feeling right now, I think. What I did have a lot of fun with a few days ago was a 3-point perspective sketch, and essentially what I did for that was just draw this building in Prague. You can kind of tell the size and the scale of the building just from the way that everything was angled. So I had a lot of fun with that. So I think maybe another drawing like that could be beneficial to practice. Because I've loved drawing architecture in the past, and that's something when I continue to practice drawing and learn how to. So, and I guess another goal with that is in my current city, the one that I'm living in now, there are a lot of beautiful buildings that are, you know, they have all of these details and flourishings, and I don't know how to describe it. They're just historic and beautiful, and I would love to be able to go through and just walk the streets and just like go building by building, sketch them, and make some sort of catalog of them. And just go, it's like, here's one, here's one, here's one. That could be a lot of fun. So I think I'll have maybe a month dedicated to that, the month of August. So in the meantime, from now until then, I'm gonna practice drawing more architecture in general. And I just want to focus on getting the forms down and seeing if I can add some embellishments and add some detail and hint at detail where maybe drawing too much might overcrowd it. Actually, I have an idea for today. What I think I'm gonna do is pull up an image that I found. Textural terms. What I'm gonna do is study by not just drawing architecture, but learning architectural terms. So let me put this in references here. And so with this channel as well, I'm trying not to edit too much out, just to keep it natural, keep it chill, keep it relaxed. So this is what I think I'm gonna draw here. It's not gonna be perfect. It's not gonna be one-to-one, right? I'm not. This looks like it was drawn using maybe pencil or some kind of graphite, maybe pen. I'd be very surprised if it was pen. But my goal here is to draw this, and as I'm drawing them, think about what they're called, and I guess download that into my brain, if that makes sense at all. And it's one of those things where maybe you've heard it before said another way, but drawing or writing what am I trying to say here? When you're studying or when you're in a class, writing down what the professor says, like the act of note-taking. I've never actually gone through and read my notes, right? But the act of note-taking does something where it translates what you're doing. It's like, all right, I'm drawing and I'm writing down the notes, and this connection between your mind and your physical action creates some kind of feedback loop, I'm gonna assume. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but it helps to learn the actual thing that you're writing down. And so I think drawing for me helps in the same way, because I'm a very visual thinker. I can't think in words, I can't think in like language abstractions, but sometimes you just got a brain that has like little movies and pictures inside it. You're just chilling out, and then you watching the movies in the background, right? Like, ooh, thinking about apples and stuff like that. So my goal for today, I'm just gonna try and sketch what I see and give names to them. So let's do this building in the center here. This isn't. Maybe this won't be perfectly to scale. That's okay. And I am using the guidelines. By guidelines, I mean I'm holding shift as I'm sketching, and that creates perfectly straight vertical and horizontal lines on Photoshop. If that's a tool that you don't know about, it might help you. All right, so along the line between the first and second story of this building, there is something called a string course. Now, what the heck is a string course? String course is, let me look up the definition. Only definition it has is a continuous horizontal band. So let's get our maybe we do the sketch and we have like a separate note sheet. So string course. Masonry. Something feels odd or off about this. I'm gonna knock the pen size down to 10. I like that better. So the string course is just a piece of masonry, stone or masonry, it could be concrete. It's going across the building horizontally. door. Doesn't look like they have any definitions for the elements of the front door at all. I'll just get like a couple of lines here. Something like that. Alright, next definition. Rusticated stonework. The hell does that mean? Let's find out. Let me look it up real quick. Alright, rusticated stonework. Classical masonry technique featuring heavily textured or roughly honed stone blocks separated by deeply recessed, wide or beveled joints. What does that mean? Does it just mean that it sticks out a little bit? Alright, Jeez, Google AI is giving me two different answers. I just reloaded the page and I got a better answer. Masonry technique. Individual stone blocks are separated by deeply recessed, chamfered, or V-shaped joints. I'm just gonna put it into my own words. The blocks stick out. / deep joints. So, if this is a block, the block above it, that's a bad example. So something like this, if this is like a profile. Here's a block. Another bad example. Here's a block. Alright. You get the point. So it's all about the lines. Being able to see those lines and cast a shadow between them. That's what it seems to be to me. Alright, that's what that is. Now, there's something on here called coins. What the heck is that? But it's not spelled coins, C-O-I-N-S. It's Q-O-I-N-S. Definition. Spelled with the U. Masonry blocks are bricks that form the external corners of the building. So they're different from the others. So, for example, and I'm just gonna keep using this as my example here, and I'm gonna get a layer underneath and sort of get like a light gray. So here's the color of the brickwork down here. That extends out, but these bricks are a lighter color and look different from the others. So that's what coins are. We can apply this to the whole lower area here. You know what? Why not? I'll try and match it on the other side. So I'm just going to take an eraser. I'm going to sketch in my blocks here. Something like that. So there you go. There a little bit. Got some coins. Up next is the windows. So we're just gonna skip a big portion in the middle because it's called sash windows. Let's get the definition first on here. Some coins. So different stones for the corners. Alright, where was I? Sash windows. That's up next. Sash. Sash window is an operable panel that slides vertically or horizontally rather than swinging outwards on hinges. So that's, I think, most modern windows where we've got the frame here, and then it's split in half, and then this lower half can slide up, and then we've got it cracked open at the bottom there, the cool air in. Or side to side. So I wonder how new these were. Now that I'm thinking about it, when were sash windows invented? Let me look this up. When were sash windows invented? 1670s. So earlier than I expected. But I don't know if they were commonplace. So let's get a sash window on here. Of course, we're going to separate this lower floor with a string course. So here's our string course. Masonry is just a bit different. I'm going to just do, instead of a dotted pattern, just like in the image on reference, it's more like a lines like so. Let's get one window here. These are sash windows. Alright. Cool. I'm also seeing on the opposite side, it's called 6x6. Sorry, 6/6 double hung windows. Let me look up what that is. 6/6. Double hung window. So it looks like it's a historic window pattern where you have 6 panes in each frame. So instead of something like this, it would look something more like this. Let me get a drawing in here. Sometimes they fold out instead of sliding up and down, it looks like, on some of the reference images. But the important thing is they are different. So sometimes these can be looks like there's a few different ways that these are drawn, but the most common way that these exist, right? We've got 3 horizontal or 3 vertical pane columns, and the 4 pane columns, or rows of panes, something like that. So that's a 6/6. Double hung. It's funny because the reference image doesn't have a 6/6, it has a 4/4. So I don't know what they're talking about there. Okay. Let's get up towards the top of the building here. So here's the top floor, and this is going to be the roof here. We've got something called a cornice and a decorative entablature. Let me look up cornice first. Decorative functional mold that projects horizontally from a wall. So it looks like it protects the facade from rain. Okay, cool. Cornice. So interior cornice. So this is where crown molding. Crown molding's a kind of cornice. It looks like. It looks like cornices are on Roman and Greek temples. It's pretty cool. So that's sort of like the. Just get like a sketch of it. This is the side of the building. This is the cornice that overhangs it. So here's the cornice. But so I'll get one that says cornice. But it also says there's decorative entablature, so maybe that the entablature is a part of the cornice. Let me look at what that word is as well. So decorative entablature. It's an ornate horizontal superstructure that rests above columns or on a wall. So it looks like this has roots in Roman architecture and Greek architecture, where historically, so it's separate from the cornice, but it's a part, right? So we've got the columns underneath. This is like a temple of some sort. Got the cornice on top. Then you've got images depicting like gods and goddesses and, you know, stories. So that would be the decorative entablature. So it's not functional, I guess. Looks like it has 3. I'm not going to go that deep into it, but there's our cornice. Here's our decorative entablature. And I'll just do like an image of something under there. Just like they have in the reference image. So that's what that is. There's also something called a parapet. Parapet definition. It's a low protective wall. So this is on an adjacent building in the example image. So this is where the parapet is. So somebody could be like looking over at the edge, saying hello. So this would be the parapet. I've heard this word used before, like when talking about castles, so I guess it's just a low decorative wall, or protective wall on a balcony. It's just a chest-high wall to prevent people from falling. That sort of thing. And I'm not going to write down the definition for that. I think I know what that is now. Parapet with balusters, though. Parapet with balusters. With balusters? Balusters. Balustrades. How do you say balusters? Baluster definition. Vertical load-bearing posts that support. So this is like handrails and staircases have balusters like that. So it's like something like this. It's a decorative post. Or a load-bearing post, but they're usually something like this. Something like that. So those are balusters. So parapet with balusters is just made of balusters. So on this example, I'm not going to put these in until I put the dormer windows in first. I'm just going to look up the definition for dormer window. It's roofed structures that project vertically outward from a sloped roof. So that makes sense. So this window here projects out from the rest of the roof. There's like something going on in here. Of course, it's up to imagination. And we've got a 6-pane window here. And this kind of projects out and attaches to the edge of this roof and the edge of this cornice. That's pretty cool. And then here, you've got this sort of sloping structure that goes up towards the top. So over here on this side. But here are those balusters. I'm just going to do short, simple columns for these, for the sake of saving myself from headache, which apparently I get quite often. There's a lot of stuff going on in life. All right, so that's a dormer roof, or a dormer window, and a parapet with balusters. And now something on here called a mansard roof. Mansard roof. It's a 4-sided gambrel style hip roof. The heck does that mean, man? I know I've seen these around in my city. Excuse me. I don't know why they're calling this a mansard roof, because it's not 4-sided. Because they've got the... Did they just not know what... Where it... I don't know what's going on right now. I feel like I'm going crazy. Mansard roof. So hypothetically, let me just hide all of this. Mansard roof should... Oh, hey, I forgot about that guy. Mansard roof should look something like this if we've got like a building. corner, it goes up like that. And it like pitches up like that. And it has a top. So that would be a mansard roof. But ours has a flat plane that just cuts through. It goes from edge to edge. Maybe it is a mansard. I don't know what to say, man. So if I have like a profile though, it's something like this. It can either be flat at the top or be pitched at the top. Your choice, really. But it's looks like it's got that classic Victorian feel. So like there could be a ooh. I get to practice my my vocabulary today. This would be a parapet with balusters. Up here. So that would make it like very Victorian style. Is that correct? Possibly. Let's bring everything back here. So for the sake of it, I'll go in and I'll say that this is a mansard roof. Mansard. So this has been cool because I think very often, this is true of anything, you can look at something and you can say that it's beautiful, but you don't understand why, and you can't really give language to it if you don't have a language to back it up, right? Like I'm looking outside my window, I see a building with it's kind of a very classical style, right? I think it was built at the end of the 1700s. It's very large, very beautiful. Has cornices, has parapet with balusters, has these giant grand archways, has string courses, maybe sash windows. No, I don't think sash windows. Probably, but there's rusticated stonework. I can see some decorative entablements. So all these elements are there. And so without being able to put words to it, you can't quite describe it. I think you can't understand or appreciate it to the fullest. Possibly. The same way, like, if whatever you study, if you study something, you know more about it, you have words for it, you have language for it, you can talk about it more complexly, or understand it more complexly. I'm thinking about biology, right? Like, being able to name and identify all the organs in the body versus, oh, that's weird, like, I'm not feeling well today, and I don't know why. Maybe that's a bad example. But I gotta get like a tissue or something. But that's it for today, I think. This is a fun little something different, I guess. So a break from the usual schedule, if there is such thing as a usual schedule. And tomorrow is Friday, and I've been seeing in our Discord, we've got a Discord server. If that's something you're interested in joining, feel free to check out the channel page, and I've got that linked in there. Though I hope the link still works. But anywho, we're doing an event where we're just gonna draw some memes or paint some memes and just have fun with it. So tomorrow I'm gonna be doing my meme. I still gotta decide what that is. I've got a few ideas floating around, but I still gotta decide. But that's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to be making more videos like these in the future, I think, because I had a lot of fun with this. And I love to draw architecture, or at least try to and learn how to. And I think if I want to draw and paint like Studio Ghibli, I'm going to have to learn how to draw architecturally, especially for some of these streetscapes, like, you know, the city in Howl's Moving Castle comes to mind. Very French style or German style. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, and I hope I'll see you tomorrow.